I was just sitting here thinking how I watch people who had to come up in the streets, and these are people who, I guess you could say, feel like they got away with stuff. They got away with murders, drug dealing, prostitution, or whatever. But these people tend to spend the remainder of their life chasing for God, chasing after God. And why I say they got away with stuff, because they don't own up to what they did. They still got these little prostitution rings. They still got all this stuff going on because they got away with it. At least they think they got away with it. But they can't tell by the way they chase God that they didn't get away with it. And it always make me wonder, these people, they read the Bible, go to church every Sunday and Wednesday sometime. Some might just read the Bible. Some put themselves in solitude, study God. Really seem like they're giving their all to God. But when you know what they really got underneath everything, you be like, you feel sorry for them. I do in a way. I feel sorry for them. Because they be so hell-bent on trying to get me to bend. Being at this test right here, or being doing drugs, or being with this woman that's really not ready to heal themselves. Just being. It's like, where is the peace in that, though? You don't have peace in your life. Maybe you got all the cars, maybe you got all the houses, maybe you got this, maybe you got that. But the guilt shows on you as if you wear it like a coat. The guilt shows all over you. You put yourself in solitude. You put yourself in a bad place. Or you put yourself in a lonely place. You ain't gotta be lonely. You got people you can go to. You got all this stuff hidden in the dark that you could go to. But somehow, some way, you still put yourself in a lonely place. You don't want to work on what's really yours. I've seen people that live in double families their whole life. I used to say I didn't know how they keep up with it and pay for it, but they utilize their family to pay for these families. They steal and take from their own family to support these families. So much so they call these people their family. I seen that. I seen kids be abandoned by parents that could more than take care of them real good. But since they got other families, they ain't got time for their own family. You see this all the time. I'm telling you, these are the people who got away with stuff. Murders, prostitution, drugs, drug dealing, whatever. But they still seem empty. They still seem alone. Very fragile. And when you see these people, these are the people really that got that unfair, super incredible lucky gene. And even them is scared of death. Even they are scared of what's after death. So you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it when you go through such a thing? If you knew the stuff they had to do just to get away with that stuff, and then they got the audacity, they chase for God diligently now. but they ain't gonna own up to the wrong they've been doing. They're not gonna own up. They're not gonna own up to the wrong they've been doing. They're not gonna own up to the drugs they've been doing or dealing with. They're not gonna own up to the prostitution. They're not gonna own up to the double families they taking care of. They're not gonna own up to none of this stuff, but they're gonna hide it well. They're gonna hide it so well to where people around them actually think they are a child of God. Surely I'll tell you the truth, the devil know more about the Bible than you do. You'll be amazed. Why? Why live in fear like that's living in fear? That's living in shackles. That's accepting being binded. Getting used to repetition in cycles in the physical. Do you not know that if you don't heal these issues and these problems, that you will find yourself in a position in the afterlife where you have to be in these cycles, where you have to be in repetition? You're gonna suffer twice. You're gonna go through life because you're suffering. Some of these people still got a lot of life to go. Some of these people still got a long way to go. Some of these people got a long way to go. And instead of owning up to all the wrong they done, instead of asking God to forgive them for all the wrong they done after they owned up to all the wrong they done and letting it go, they want God to accept them. This is how people in the new day and age think that they can buy their way to heaven. They utilize all that they done took and stole from people, and they help people with it. I seen them do that. I seen people, family members, I seen a daddy bail other kids out of jail to tell the jail to keep his kids in there. And the kids that he bailed out of jail deserve to be in there. I seen that. And sometimes, at some point in my life, I probably felt that on multiple occasions. So it's like, when do we stop? But I'm saying to you, when these people push this stuff in the dark, when these people get this stuff pushed in the dark to where their own family, it ain't that their family don't recognize it. It ain't that their friends and loved ones don't recognize it. It's that they hide it so good that they just act like they don't recognize it. Not only do they recognize it, they know exactly what you're doing because you can't hide it. You can run, but you can't hide. That's a good, great saying right there. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. Just imagine that though. Imagine giving your all to God, but you got all that in the dark. You got all that going on in the dark. I'm telling you, I told y'all about the preacher and the congregation that I seen in hell. But I guess ain't nobody really paying attention because when I was at the Libra scale, I seen another guy come up to the Libra scale. And this guy, I guess this guy took a lot of money or helped a lot of people but himself. And what I mean by that is that he didn't help his family. He didn't help himself. He didn't build on his home. He built on everybody else's home. He did for everybody else's. Yeah, he talked about God. And he preached about God. But the problem is that he had other families. He had other relationships. That's the problem. Same thing with people like dealing with prostitutes. I seen husbands beat their wife to a pulp for whatever reason. I seen husbands beat their wife on dope and off dope and go and have a concubine prostitute that's on drugs and buy her drugs and show her love and go home and beat his own wife to death. Imagine that. Imagine beating your wife to death for drugs and having a concubine that you go buy drugs for. I seen family members sabotage family members that's on drugs, make them lose everything, take everything from them, pretty much sacrifice them, and turn around and go to the place that they were selling, the drug house, the actual drug house, and probably even re-up on the drugs for these people. You see how perverse this world is? This is what you see in the slums. This is what you see in the real street, the darkness in the streets. This is how it really looks. And this still ain't nothing. Imagine having all that kind of stuff in the dark. And you talking about God, you want to preach about God, want to pray to God, and probably go to church every Sunday and Wednesday. But you got all that going on behind in the dark, behind closed doors. Imagine that now. I don't know what made me share this. I guess I just wanted to share something new. I guess I just want to talk about something new. Yeah. These people live in a gloomy, lonely place. And then I think about people I used to study with when they say, when you on borrowed time, and you in these people's minds, people done told them they such a good person because these people done took care of them and bought stuff for them. In these people's minds, they think borrowed time is a blessing from the divine for all the good they done. But really, it's that you something special to the divine, and the divine wanting you to repent from all the bad you done. That's how it really go. That's how it really goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it really goes. That's how it really go. I had this guy say when my brother died, he was trying to make me feel better, I guess. He said, don't feel so bad and gloomy. The good die young. And I just thought about that. Whether it was the truth or not, I still thought about it. And I said, my brother was real. He might have been who he was, but he was real. He was definitely real. I love my brother with all my heart, because I knew he was real. My brother could have did anything, been anything, and my brother could have abandoned me for anyone, because he was that special and that popular to people. But he always stayed by my side. Even when he died, he said, I'll never leave your side. And it feels good to know, especially when the block look up to him, the whole block look up to these people, and they look up to you. Real recognize real. I seen it. These people give their all to God, y'all. You know how miserable that is? That's their conscience talking to them. That's their ego talking to them. That's their conscience telling them, heal, stop, and let it go. See, when you really heal with God, when you really heal with the divine, when you really repent, you give up all that darkness. You got to let all that go. Even what you done purchased with darkness, you got to let all that go. And then you can show your love to God. And then you can give your all to God. When you down to your lowest, like me, I ain't got no money to motivate me to get out of bed. I ain't got no woman to motivate me to get out of bed. No friends, no lovers to motivate me to get out of bed. But not only do I get out of bed, I get out of bed and I give my time to God wholeheartedly. God is my best friend, my father, my lover. I do everything with God. I ain't got nobody but God. I put God before everything. Just the thought of God gets me out of my bed. Now imagine that. Just the thought of God get me out of my bed. Reading the Bible for me is like smoking a cigarette. Oh, I can't wait to read this chapter. Or writing a song. Oh, I can't wait to read this chapter. I can't wait to get to the next chapter. I might not say that about all chapters, but I say that about the Bible in general. I can't wait to meditate. I come outside and walk too much. I'll be like, I can't wait. I got to go back in the house and pray and meditate. I ain't even prayed and meditate today. I did this when I was in my streets, in the studios and stuff. If I forgot to pray, I'd stop the whole session. It'd be, like I said, be thug, gangster, gun, everything, drugs, everything. Whoa, stop, everybody be quiet, silence, silence, let me go ahead. I did it in jail. I hear angels talk. They'll start, some of them be like, what's going on, boy? What going on, bro? How you do that? Or some people be like, how you do that? I stop it all. Yep, I stop it all. I'm telling you, don't live your life like that, because you really worried, you really scared. Because you got to ask yourself, when you done got rid of all that darkness, when you done healed from all that darkness, is you gonna pick up that Bible like that? I know people that will heal from all that darkness and fight to heal from all that darkness, and their motivation could be God. But once they done got rid of the darkness, they no longer even think about God. I know people that's broke, God, get money, no more God. Same thing, vice versa. I had to learn to love God when I got something, and I had to learn to love God when I got nothing. And I had to learn to honor and respect God around people that most people look up to and trying to look cool in front of. And I had to learn to honor, respect, and love God in front of powerful people. I would do this on my job. Some people would say, man, you a Muslim? You a Islam, something like that they used to say. I say, I might as well be. I start praying. I done worked at jobs where they say you'll get fired for talking about God. I learned the assembly line so good that I could close my eyes, pray to God, talk to God, and still run the assembly line better than anybody else on the line, and do that for hours. And they'll be like, he's asleep. And the manager know me real well because they was on the street with he ain't sleep. They already know he ain't sleep. He just like that. I don't know what that boy is. That boy crazy. Or they'll say he different. I was so in love with God. I had jobs where they took all that from me. We don't want you to talk. We don't want you to speak. We better not say nothing about God. You better not even think about it. We want you to work. And it was a job I needed at the time. But they had one flaw. You can have earplugs. I went and ordered me some earplugs offline that looked like earphones, and I got me a Bible on my phone, and I played it the whole time. In that situation, I worked at that job for 10, 12, 15 years, and I played that Bible so much over and over, I know I probably had to at least listen to it 10 times. I used to tell people 17, but I might be exaggerating a little bit. I listened to that Bible over and over and over again. Over and over, and still can't remember that much. My mind always been like that. But I love having God. And if a job did put me in a situation where I could no longer, in no way, fashion, or form, get to God and be with God and talk to God, I quit. No matter how much money I made. No matter how much money I made, no matter how much money I got, I quit. I quit. I quit. I'm telling you, I be in the streets with talking about God. I always have been like this. Ever since I came out my mama's womb. I always been like this. I really didn't know God like that, though. I can't say that. But by the time I was 12 years old, I got to know God. But I was always preaching, though. I was always talking wise words for some reason. I just came out with an old soul. I just came out with an old soul. And I just sit here and I was just thinking, I hope this message helps somebody. I sure will. I stop everybody miss. They be in the jailhouse playing cards. Everybody be rowdied up to play cards. You know, in jail, you learn that everybody can be humble in jail. You learn that everybody can be lovable in jail, peaceful in jail. You can see a thug on the street do whatever to get a key, do whatever to make $1 million, do whatever to hit a lick. And you'll see that same thug go to prison or go to jail and be excited about Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I trade you 300 buns for some tacos. Just imagine that, though. Really sit back and think about that. This is a guy nobody could stop. This is a guy nobody could get control over. This guy sells drugs to his mama. Dad, well, I can't really say that, you know, this, some stuff just comes to the street. But this guy sells drugs to everybody. This guy's trying to hit this lick by any means necessary. Rob people, whatever it take, kill you, dead, out of here. But go to jail, he got friends, he's humble, probably even preaching, teaching you about the Bible, and get excited to play cards and Taco Tuesday. Imagine that now. Probably one of the most powerfulest people on the street. And then when they get off the street and forced to get off the street and they have to go to prison or jail, somehow they at total peace. And that's what I learned when I went to jail. I let jail better me. Because I knew some of them people that was in jail and I knew who they was on the street. And I was like, if they can change, then so can me. So as soon as I got out of jail, I applied that to myself, that discipline to myself. And I advise all of you who are in prison and stuff to keep them disciplined, keep them disciplinary acts when you get out of jail. If anything, while you in jail, go ahead and add meditation and praying highly to your extracurricular activity. And you're going to find yourself first and foremost getting out of there. Some of y'all probably got life, want to get out of there, feel like you should be out of there and probably shouldn't even be in there. I guarantee you, if you give yourself to God and you pray and meditate and you let go of anything that ain't of God that's in that jail cell, you'll get out of there. You'll get out of there. Somebody gonna come up to you and say something to you and it's going to give you a faint mustard seed of hope. And that's going to be God talking to you. I told you now. I always said somebody gave me $1 billion. I'm going to the prison, to the woman's prison, and I'm going to find me that I shot her secure. And you better know it, because you give them enough money, they're going to let them go. Look here, Warden. I make your life good for the rest of your life. Won't you have to work? I need this woman right here. I need everything. Man, this woman did this, that. Well, I done been observing her. You let me observe her. And they probably done let me observe. I done paid to observe this woman. And I say this woman is right. And I want you to give me that woman, and I'm finna make your life right. Really, bro? Because who are we to say when someone ain't got their life right? Especially when they done been put in a situation where they don't even have a life. Someone past don't make up their future. None of our past tell us our future. If anything, it should make you stronger and ready to create a better future. I believe in second chances. I just believe you better give it to the right person. You gotta know them, you gotta watch them, and you gotta do your job. And the way people watch me in this house, I'm sure we could do it in these prisons. This little experiment you got me going through in my house, it'll be good for prisoners. Some that got life, you wanna get them out? I would turn this in this house right here. I ain't gonna lie, if I left, a guy said you could leave, I'm gonna let you leave. I'd turn this house into a place where prisoners can come. And you have to do like I do, look at my neighbor, look at the neighbor woman. But you gotta look at her without sinning. He got a good wife, he got a good family. You done been in prison your whole life just about, you ain't seen a woman yet. Now, if you can stay in this house for so long and not abuse that situation and not bother that man and his woman, even if she looking at you, even if she hitting on you, and you still stay in your place, then I say you is good enough to have your record erased. Because change is in us all. Trials and tribulations just mold us into a better person. And that's God. God lives in trials and tribulations. How we tolerate trials and tribulations, how we deal with trials and tribulations, how we understand trials and tribulations, anything but skip trials and tribulations. That right there will build your relationship up with the Creator. I hope this helps somebody.